Hello. Today I'm going to make sausage stuffing, and boy, the ones the boys love. It's not an old-fashioned kind of recipe because I've made it less timely. You know, you can easily do it with different things now. So I have in here Jimmy Dean sausage, 1/4 cup of celery, and I've got 1/4 cup of onions. And we're going to fry this down. And I over-season stuffing when I cook it because, to me, I like that sagey flavor. I have here poultry seasoning and sage. So I'm probably going to put, is this on the side going now? I'm going to put sage on all the stuff that I'm going to cook today. But I put a good amount of sage on here. And that is a 1/2 teaspoon. Now, if I was making it for Thanksgiving, I would be using liquid from turkey broth or turkey stock. But since I can't go to the store to get anything like that now because of the virus, I don't have any turkey stock or chicken stock or anything like that, so we're just going to have to use water. So we're going to let this cook. Then, when that's cooked, we're going to open this up and we're going to cook it, and we're going to add more spices to it. Then we'll open this up and we'll mix that in with it. So this is going to fry down now. It's going to take a while. When I make stuffing, I usually take, this is on medium high, I'll turn it down just a little bit, so it's on medium. I always have fresh turkey. I'll cook a couple of turkey wings, so I have that juice from the turkey and the meat from the turkey the night before, and I'll add it to give it flavor, that real good turkey flavor for the stuffing. So I do have some turkey here that I'll probably add to that. I want to make sure that this is done and that the onions and the celery are getting cooked. I want this in little pieces. And I usually cook everything in the same pan, so I only have one pan to deal with. Put some turkey with the turkey gravy in here, so there's actual turkey in the turkey stuffing. Still some pink left in sausage, so I want to make sure it keeps cooking. Now, since I usually make a heaping teaspoonful of, I think much bigger than this when I do stuffing, and since I'm just cooking it for Joey and I, this is half a recipe that I'm doing today compared to what I usually do. I still see a little bit of pink here in the sausage. It is getting there. We're going to add the rice to this. And the rice says 2 2½ cups of water and a tablespoon of butter. So that's the seasoning packet. Now before I get the water, I want to add some more sage and poultry seasoning to this because, like I said, I like it seasoned real well. Mix this up real good. Now you should start to be able to smell the sage and poultry a little bit at this point. Smell it, Joe? Mm-hmm. So it's at 2 cups of water. There's 1 cup. Two cups. And it's 1 tablespoon of butter. Butter, as always, has these little marks so that you can see where the tablespoons are. It's 1 tablespoon right there. So we'll put that in there. We're going to mix this up real good. We're going to leave it at this temperature and it starts to cook. I'm going to get the lid for this. When this starts to boil, that's when I'll put the cover on the rice. I want to make sure that it boils so that it is at a good temperature for the rice to start cooking. But it isn't yet. When we see the little bubbles, then we will put the lid and turn it down just a little bit and then have the rice simmer in there. Okay, this is bubbling away. So we want it to cook down slowly and get all those flavors. So we're going to put this down to low and just let it simmer. And once it's done, I'm going to transfer it to this. We'll make this, put it together, and it's ready to go in the oven then. And I get turkey. If you have everything turkey, like turkey stock, turkey seasoning, turkey gravy is important because you put gravy on top of it. So that's going to cook down, and when it's done, then we'll have it almost all finished. This is 1½ cups of water. It's directions there. This is 4 tablespoons of butter, which it calls for. Okay, we're going to let that come to a boil before we put the stuffing in. I want that to be hot. And then we're going to mix the stuffing with this. This is your mixture of turkey, wild rice, the seasoning, and Jimmy Dean's sausage. This has already come to a full boil, and the batter's all melted. So we're going to pour this in here. And nowadays, it's all, the seasoning and everything is in one packet. And we're going to just mix this all up so this absorbs all the water. We don't want any dry pieces. Doesn't need to cook anymore. So we're probably going to take it off of this burner and put it back like this and turn the burner off and give this a couple of minutes to absorb. And as soon as it's absorbed, we're going to mix it in with here, and then we're going to put it in the oven. See how this is all absorbed now? It's all mixed up. The seasoning's all mixed through it. And we're just going to take, and we're going to start mixing it in with this. Try to mix it so that you've got even, you know, it's not just stuck in one spot, but there's rice and sausage and stuffing all mixed in it together. Because you'll find that there's a lot of stuff on the bottom that you may not be getting to. Okay, that looks pretty mixed up to me. So we're going to set the oven at 350. The oven for just a short time, maybe 15 minutes or so. We just want this to get a little bit browned because everything's already cooked that's inside here. We just want the flavors to all meld together and to get it a little crispy on top. This is actually about 20 minutes, and you see how it's a little bit crusty on the top? That's the way Joe likes it because it's nice and soft in the middle. So I use turkey gravy because it has such a good seasoning in it. And I will have it on the side so you can put it on your stuffing. So what you want to do is you want to take and mix this up really, really well. You want no lumps in it. And we're going to heat it up once this is mixed really well. When it starts bubbling is when it starts thickening. That's when the thickening agents and anything start thickening. So we're going to put it on here, and I'm going to stir it as it thickens, then we're going to use this to pour it on stuff. And you want to make sure that you keep stirring it so the bottom doesn't have the thickening where this cornstarch or flour. You don't want it to stick to the bottom because you can't get it mixed in once it's done that. This is the same thing you would do if you're making gravy on your own without using this seasoning mix. Like if I had juices from a cooked turkey, I'd be using the cooked turkey juices, and I'd use cornstarch and sage and poultry seasoning, salt and pepper, maybe not salt, but pepper, and that's how I would be making my homemade gravy. And just like with using cornstarch, nothing thickens until it boils. And when you're making your roux, it has to cook. If it doesn't cook through, and you keep mixing it at the same time, the flour tastes raw. And I really don't like using flour for gravy. I never have. It's so much easier for me to use cornstarch because cornstarch cooks easy. And when you're using it, it's so easy. You just let it come to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, it'll start thickening, and we'll just stir it a little bit, and we're ready to eat. Okay, you can look at this, you can see all the bubbles there. That means it's coming to a boil. So we want to make sure we keep it stirred. We're going to let it boil just a little bit, then we're going to pour it in here and everything's ready to eat. So we've got our stuffing, my homemade rolls, my homemade banana bread. And this is getting nice and thick. This is really good. So we're about ready to eat. Perfect.